The purpose of the film Aliens in the Attic is to entertain. I know that the purpose is to entertain because the film is a comedy genre. The film is made up of a hybrid of genres including comedy,
Cover me.
With the rake?
adventure, family, fantasy,
Hello, human.
and sci-fi.
Aliens.
What the?
The genre comedy is encoded to entertain, as comedy is stereotypically entertaining. The film is not realistic as it includes fantasy elements, including the aliens. This appeals to the target audience, which is family/children. This film has a hybrid of genres. Aliens in the Attic genre is family science fiction comedy. The idea of hybrid genre was created by Barry Keith Grant in 1995. Aliens in the Attic is in the form of a film, which is 86 minutes long. Aliens in the Attic during the first week of release was shown in over 3,000 screens in the USA, producing a profit of $8 million, and in the UK was over 400 screens, producing £1 million. The budget of the film was huge. It was $45 million. It was distributed in the USA on the 31st of July 2009 and in the 31st of August in the UK. Aliens in the Attic is a feature film. The running time is 86 minutes long. A feature film, according to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, is any film over 40 minutes long. However, any film that is 80 minutes or longer, according to the Screen Actors Guild. The style of the film trailer is modern. I know this because of the props that are included in the film. Example of these props include cars, when the family pulls up to their holiday in a modern car. Also, I know the film is set in 2009. The film contains a lot of CGI and green screen editing, as every time an alien appears within the real-life locations, they have to be edited in. The film is meant to seem realistic. I know this is known as verisimilitude. The film is shot in real-life locations, and then during the post-production process, the editing team add in the aliens using CGI and green screen. The Pearson family go for a relaxing week-long holiday in the countryside. However, it soon becomes clear that the holiday will be far from relaxing when the children have to save their parents and the rest of the world being taken over by knee-high alien invaders. In the basement of the house is a device that the aliens need in order to take over the world. But in order for the aliens to do this, they must take over the brains of adults. So it's up to the children to save the world from the alien invasion. I will now be talking about mise-en-scène in terms of content, meaning, and production process, and how mise-en-scène helps the audience to understand the narrative of Aliens in the Attic. Mise-en-scène is the layout of a film, such as props, location, costume and makeup, lighting and colour and sound. Camera work is how the camera is used to make the film. This includes different shot types, angles, movement and composition techniques. In the film Aliens in the Attic, the location that is used mainly in the scenes is the holiday home in the middle of the countryside. The iconography of this house suggests enigma, as the house is alone in the middle of the countryside and a drive away from any other form of civilization. This is asking for trouble. Stereotypically, a big house alone in the countryside connotes danger and that something bad is going to happen. This is known as preferred reading. Stuart Hall, 1980. The whole Aliens in the Attic movie is actually filmed in New Zealand. The main location encoded is a remote detached house in the middle of the countryside. Ricky is Bethany's arrogant boyfriend, who does everything in his power to please Bethany's parents, Stuart and Nina, while at the same time tormenting her younger brother, Tom. 15-year-old Tom is the main character of Aliens in the Attic. Tom is a techno geek who purposely fails his exam in an attempt to be cool.
I don't want to be like you, I want to be cool.
14-year-old Jake is constantly trying to make sure he is better than his older cousin Tom. This is a stereotype of male dominance. The two cousins, Tom and Jake, are constantly competing to try and be better than one another. This is known as male dominance. Video game addicts, identical twins Art and Lee, do everything their older brother Jake tells them to.
Here. Hey guys.
Put my bags on the bed.
Sir, yes, sir.
Skip is the most violent character in this
hurry
film.
up.
He is an alien. The main action in Aliens in the Attic takes place in the house which the family are staying in for 7 days. The detached house is located in the middle of the American countryside with few surroundings. This lone house is denoted to create enigma. Stereotypically, houses alone in the middle of the countryside connote danger. This location relates to the genre of Aliens in the Attic, which is American families, science
Aliens.
fiction,
What?
comedy.
Cover me.
With the rake?
The main characters in Aliens in the Attic are Tom, Jake, Act, Lee, Hannah, and also the aliens. The human characters are wearing casual everyday clothing. This stereotypical clothing of American children wear. The costume encoded creates verisimilitude. This fits in with the film as it's meant to seem realistic. Also, the costume is encoded to help the audience, family and children, to relate to the film. Props that are included in Aliens in the Attic include children's toys. These toys are encoded to connote the family-friendly environment. The fact that they are children is important to the narrative. This is because the film is aimed at children and families, and the purpose is to entertain. At the start of the film, there is mainly bright lighting encoded. The reason for this is because at the start of the film, there is equilibrium and it is calm. The lighting then changed as the aliens landed on the roof. The lighting has a tint of blue. This is edited in during the post-production process. Stereotypically, in films, the lighting represents enigma. We know that there is no longer equilibrium as the lighting changes into a dark scene with the tint of blue. 1520. Now we're talking about camera work, which is part of the production process. Camera work is how cameras are used to make a film. This includes shot types, angles, camera movement, and composition technique. A wide shot is used at the start of the film. The wide shot is first used when the family arrive in their holiday home. The wide shot shows that the house is in the middle of the countryside. This is encoded to set the scene. An angle encoded in Aliens in the Attic is a high angle. This is encoded when we first see the aliens. Stereotypically, a low angle would have been used to show dominance. However, in this case, a high angle is used. The aliens are still presented as dominant as they are ugly creatures with claws and multiple limbs. A camera movement used in Aliens in the Attic is a pull focus. The camera focuses on when Hannah reaches to open the window. The camera is focused on her, and then the pull focus is on the window latch. A tracking shot is used in the film Aliens in the Attic when Ricky is being controlled by Art and Lee, but they are unaware that they're controlling his movements, causing damage to Ricky's precious car. I will now be talking about editing. Editing is in the post-production sector. Editing is the process where the footage for the film is put together and unnecessary parts are cut. Also, special effects and CGI are added. To create the alien cast in Aliens in the Attic, the effects team have to make hundreds of shots of the alien creatures using computer graphics. Shot reverse shot is encoded in Aliens in the Attic. Shot reverse shot is where two or more characters in the same location are having a face-to-face conversation. In this example, it is the first time we see the characters Tom and Ricky having a conversation. The tone of this conversation is very negative. This is encoded as it foreshadows a relationship between Tom and Ricky throughout the rest of the film. An insert shot is used at the start of the new scene. This is where it sets the location of the family home. There is a wide shot to present the house alone in the countryside, then a closer-up shot to represent how large the house is in comparison to the fields around the house. Finally, we have sound. There are two types of sound. These are diegetic and non-diegetic. Diegetic sound is where the sounds that are put in are meant to seem realistic and are encoded to fit with the narrative. The characters could actually hear these sounds, e.g. a doorbell or a phone ringing. Non-diegetic sound is where the sound is added in for effect and the character in the narrative cannot hear it. For example, a narrator's commentary or sound effects added for dramatic effect. There is a lot of diegetic sound used in Aliens in the Attic, as it is a sci-fi film. There are a lot of sounds of whooshes, satellite, computers, space and UFOs, etc. This is atmospheric orchestral tones. This film, Aliens in the Attic, uses both diegetic and non-diegetic sound. Non-diegetic sound is denoted at the start of the film. The film begins with a shot of outer space with meteor rock and silver spaceship-like objects flying past the screen. To help present to the audience that the film is going to be a sci-fi film, the sound encoded is non-diegetic. Atmospheric orchestral pieces with science fiction style music is played in the background. The music is quite upbeat and creates tension. Non-diegetic sound is sound which is not coming from within the story world, and it is usually added in during the post-production process. Another example of non-diegetic sound is encoded when the family are seen all together in their family car on their way to their family home. This second example is a different type of music. The tone is happy. This is denoted as this connotes equilibrium, the first stage of Todoros's 1977 theory. This is included at 3:40. This continues until the family get out of the car as they get to their home for the next 7 days, 5:02. There is diegetic sound encoded. Diegetic sound is where the sound is coming from the world of the film. The character would have been able to hear it, e.g. birds tweeting. In this example, the sound is coming from the car radio. Another example of diegetic sound
adds a little excitement to our area this holiday weekend.
Exciting.
is when Bethany receives a text message. This is encoded at 7:04, and this diegetic sound is that she's meant to be able to hear it as well as the audience. And finally, I will be discussing the production process. The first production process is pre-production. In the pre-production process, this is where everything starts. It's the process of preparing everything that is included in the making of the film. There is the scripting team who have to write the script. The locations for the filming has to be chosen. Costumes for the actors have to be chosen, and different lightings for the filming. Next is the production process. This is where the action happens. In this process, this is where the filming happens, and the film is recorded during a film shoot. Finally is the post-production process. This is the process where the footage filmed in the production process is put together, ready for image, sound and visual effects to be added. Then there will be the marketing, which will be the trailer of the film, and also advertising. Camera work is planned during the pre-production process, and then camera work actually happens during the production process. An example of camera work are shot types. A wide shot. Wide shots are encoded to set the scene. Special effects are added into Aliens in the Attic, including CGI. The CGI is encoded quite a lot in the film, as CGI is used to create the aliens. To make the aliens seem as realistic as possible, they have to be put in during the post-production process. Prosthetics and makeups wouldn't produce the realistic effect that the producers would want it to create. A type of editing is continuity editing. This creates narrative.